Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Alex Buy Stuff, and I just want to give you guys an update on my Porsche 911 Targa 4S. Oh, I should have said 2019. It's a 991.2. I'm kind of being sarcastic right now because the names for Porsche cars at this point are just so ridiculous. If you want to mention all the little things, a lot of nines, especially when you buy it and it's a 2019. Lots of ones and nines. Anyway, so for anyone that doesn't know, I bought this car about 4 months ago from a Copart auction, and I've got pretty big dreams and aspirations for it. Basically, I want to build like a kind of like a speedster. If you don't know what a speedster is, Google it. But specifically the 991 speedster. But instead of being a speedster top, it would be a Targa top, but it would have a GT3 motor and it would have a manual transmission. But I do really like the Targa top for some reason. There's something about the Targa top that really looks cool. I don't like convertible cars particularly, but something about that glass with like the metal hoop thing that goes over the top, I just really like it. I don't specifically really like the canvas part that goes over the T-top area, but that's fine. Anyway, so I bought this car with the project in mind, that I would be swapping the motor with a GT3 motor. I'd be swapping the body panels to GT3 RS body panels, and it would just look really cool and be fun, and it'd be like a car I'd keep forever type of thing, like kind of like a SEMA car. The color I would really like to go for. I didn't prepare for this, but it's M5 CS green. It's like frozen green, whatever. This is the color I'd really like to paint the car. Oh my gosh, it's a video. I'm sorry, guys. Let's go back here. This was a YouTube video, and I'm blowing your eardrums off. Let's see if this works. There we go. It's like a matte green. I really like that color. And maybe I'd end up doing something like the gold wheels and some gold stuff on the hoop thing that goes over the top. Let's see if I can get a better angle. This thing right here, I think it'd be pretty cool to get like that goldish bronze look that they have on the M5 CS wheels and other things on the M5 CS. It'd be cool to get that painted or metal anodized or whatever. I don't know what the right word is, but kind of a similar color scheme. And then also I'd really like the interior to be kind of like the Club Sport. I think it's like Pepita inserts, and then like a really dark tan. It's like that orangish brownish tan color that you've seen in some cars. Anyway, that's the end goal plan when it's like completely done, all the things I want to do, right? It's going to have a lot of iterations between the terrible shape it's in right now and when it's completely done, right? And it's going to be very expensive. So if for anyone that hasn't seen any of the videos where I'm talking about this, I think I have 3 videos up. There's the first one where I talked about it right here 4 months ago when I bought it, but I hadn't picked it up yet. There's the video where I actually picked it up, and then there's a video where I think I did like a walk around or something like that. So if you want more information, you want to see the car in person, go check that out. Now, between 4 months ago and now, it mostly sat in my garage, leaking oil on the ground. And at a certain point, I decided I wanted to have it checked out. I was ready to make a move with it. So I took it over to Heinz Getz in San Diego, and they went through the car and showed me all the things. I basically said, I'd like to be able to drive the car so I can kind of like, I don't know if you want to call it a shakedown. I want to know all the things that are wrong with it right now, fix a lot of those things and get it in driving shape so that when I go to the next step, I know, oh, these bushings are bad, or this control arm, or like whatever it is. I want the bones of it to be good. And that requires the car to be able to drive, which means the motor needs to be working correctly. So that moves forward with the next parts here. So here's the notes and stuff from Heinz Getz. This invoice has my name and phone number and stuff all over it. So I'm purposely not showing some of it. But the first big thing here is that they said the driver's side turbo was damaged. And those are really expensive. You can see the quote they got from Porsche Direct. I guess they probably used some sort of online system that they showed about $5,400 for just one turbocharger. That's not a great price. You can get them online for a lot cheaper, but that's just the standard price. There's a radiator that needed to be replaced for about $900, a condenser for about $400, an air duct just a piece of plastic for about $240, a steel frame for about $45, an electric fan for $550, and a fan shroud for $120. So that was the parts list. I did not want to pay $5,000 for the turbo because the idea here is to make the motor good again, drive it around a little bit, and then eventually take that motor right back out. And I figured, well, I should be able to get a turbocharger for a lot cheaper than $5,400. Found the guy on, there's a bunch of things that happened in between here and there, but I found a guy on one of the Porsche forums that had a pair. He had upgraded his turbos to, I forgot the phrase, but there's like a thing you can do directly with Porsche from the factory that gives you upgraded turbos. It gives you, I think, 50 more horsepower or something. I forgot what it was. And he did that. And so he had his turbos completely out and he sold them to me. I was only going to buy one from him, but I ended up just saying, who knows if there's another problem with the other turbo. His price was good. So I paid a pretty good price for both turbochargers that he had on his Carrera, I think S or something like that. So I then was going to just have the one turbocharger swapped at Heinz Getz, and I ordered the rest of these parts just brand new from online places, just whoever had the cheapest price. I think most of it was like Sunset Porsche or something, and the prices weren't amazing, but anyway, those parts are all here at my house now, and the turbochargers that were used that I got from the guy are here. And sometime when all this stuff's going on, I started thinking about the turbochargers and driving this car around, and how long do I think I will have it before a motor swap will happen, and am I ever actually going to do the motor swap realistically? I think I will, but it's not going to just be like, oh yeah, you just pulled the motor out and just throw this other one in, it's just going to work. It's going to be like a lot, right? So part of me is just kind of preparing, what if I decide I don't want to go through with the motor swap? What if this or that? And maybe it'd be fun to put more powerful turbochargers in while I'm in there. And if I put more powerful turbochargers into this Targa 4S, if I do eventually pull that motor out, maybe I'm going to want to put that motor into something else. Maybe I could find a blown motor Carrera 4S or what, some sort of GT, anything that would have had the same motor, but it just has a blown motor, and I could swap this motor in and have another car, or sell that car and make money with it, whatever, right? But it'd be nice to maybe reuse the motor somewhere, because there are not a lot of miles on this car. I don't remember off the top of my head. I think it's around 10,000 or something. I could find out, but anyway, so Pure Turbos is a company that rebuilds factory Porsche turbos as well as other companies. And if you go on their website, they've got a bunch of different drop down menus, but there's Porsche turbo upgrades, and you can see they have 992 somewhere, 991.2 Pure Turbos upgrades, right? So the price for this isn't incredibly terrible. It's $4,000. It gives you potentially a lot of extra power. Let's see if I go down here. They are using 93 pump gas, which I don't have here in California, but there is a up to 200 horsepower gain you can get with these turbos. That's really significant. They did say they have like upgraded intercoolers and headers and an exhaust system and stuff, but I would be willing to maybe do some of that stuff too if I really like how it feels. So I'm thinking, okay, $4,000. If you go back to the estimate, it was $5,400 just for one turbo. I could take two turbos and upgrade them for $4,000. Maybe I should do that just for the in-betweens. So I decided to do it. And the good news is, I just was like, well, there's this damaged turbo. It's going to have to come out no matter what. Why don't I see if Pure Turbos can rebuild that turbo? And then I'll have the one that I bought as a replacement. I could just sell it or keep it for some other, whatever it is. But I wouldn't even, this one turbo that is theoretically currently a paperweight could be good again. And sure enough, I take it over to Pure Turbos. By the way, dudes there are awesome, super nice. And they're like, oh, this turbo's fine. This is no problem. So I dropped that off last week. Tomorrow it's going to be a whole week, and that's what their estimate is about 1 week to do the work. So possibly tomorrow they'll have it ready to pick up. Maybe it's going to be next week. I don't know. I'm cool with whatever. But a lot of the other parts are here, and I'm going to take those over to Heinz Getz, all of these parts, the air ducts and radiators and stuff. And once we do all that stuff, the car should be drivable again. Once we get the car driving, then I should be able to start going to the next step, which is probably going to be bodywork stuff. So sourcing GT3RS panels, getting all of the cosmetic stuff in line, and maybe looking towards doing some paint, the paint work as well. So I don't know. I think the interior probably would be the last thing I'd want to do. The interior that's in it it's nice. It's just the color isn't really what I would want to go with that green I was showing you. So yeah, that's pretty much the update. I think that there's going to be a good chance that I'll have some videos coming in the next month, maybe, where I'm actually driving the car. The only thing is that when we do these big turbos, I'm probably going to need to get some sort of a tune. And then once I get the tune, maybe I'll have some videos where I am doing stuff with, adding an exhaust, adding headers, doing intercoolers, stuff like that. So that could be fun. And yeah, if I can make about 500 wheel horsepower, let's see, what did they do? Pure upgrade turbos. Okay, yes. FBO. What is FBO? Full bolt-ons. That's what that means. Okay. It took me a minute staring at this to figure that out. So yeah, full bolt-on. So that is the headers, exhaust, and upgraded intercoolers, and then a tune. So without the FBO, they're making about 450 wheel and 480 wheel torque. That's a lot of power. That's over 100 extra horsepower and more than 100 foot-pounds of torque. I might be fine with that, and then it might be fun to see what the difference between this and this feels like if I want to. But it could be kind of a fun project with all these little fun things happening between a GT3 motor. And the only thing that could be the downfall is if I end up going with the GT3 motor, that's going to make way less power than this. And maybe I don't like it. Maybe I'm going to be like, oh, I wish I would have kept the stock motor that was making all that power. 500. I don't know what let's see, 992 Turbo S dyno. I don't know what the newest Turbo S is putting down. It obviously has bigger motor. It's like 3.8, I think. Let's see if this is the best place to go. Sorry, I wasn't prepared for this. These are things that pop into my head as I'm talking. So it's rated at 640 at the crank. We see 580 to the wheel. So if I actually did get somewhere to this 540 wheel horsepower, I'd be really close to a stock Turbo S. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, so that's it. That's my update. I hope you guys liked it, and let me know if you have any opinions that you want to, especially if you want to make fun of me. You're like, oh, I think I'm an idiot about all this stuff. Like, sure, feel free to let me know. Talk to you later.